Right, Sunday, Transgender Awareness Week, video number 5. Oh, I'm getting them done. So for those of you who it's your first time here, I am looking to make a video for every day of Transgender Week, which is Transgender Awareness Week, sorry, which is November 13th to the 20th. And this is day 5, and I'm quite proud that I managed to get this far. In today's video, I thought what I'd want to talk about is some of the things that I'm particularly happy about being transgender, because I think sometimes we're characterized as being sort of sad and tragic figures, and I don't feel that way at all. I think there's a lot of things to appreciate that I'm trans and the trans experience, and I'll also touch on maybe something that is less satisfactory about the whole experience. So, I mean, when it comes to good things, it's quite difficult, I think, to tease apart, because there's elements of my personality and character that I'm quite satisfied with, and it's difficult to tease apart. Is that because I'm trans and that's something I've had to work through, or is that something else? Is it just because of the other experiences that I've had? And it's impossible to say one or the other. But I mean, for me, I think there's a clear through line between sort of who I am today and the things that I've experienced. So for instance, some of the things that I'm quite satisfied with are the fact that I'm quite empathetic, very empathetic. In fact, I think my colleagues really appreciate the fact that I'm there for them as a kind of an emotional pillar of support. I also feel that one of the things that I have is an ability to see alternative ways of being and doing things. I try not to, or I don't seem to be satisfied with the standard approach being the only and best approach. I tend to challenge those assumptions fairly regularly. For better or worse, of course, that might not always be a good thing. Other things that I'm quite happy about is the fact that I've been introduced to so many amazing, wonderful people, and I'm not just talking about you wonderful commenters on my channel, but I've found some people, I've met some people through one way or the other, and just the communities and the support that people can offer each other, it's really eye-opening and it's really quite amazing, and I really love being part of that, as small and insignificant as my presence is. I feel a lot of the time I'm listening and learning about other people's experiences, because I'm just one woman and I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to being out and about in the world. So all I can do is share my experience, but most importantly, hear what other people have to say as well. Just as an aside, what I'm walking through here now is a cemetery of people killed in the war. Each of these plots doesn't represent one individual, but a group of people, many of which we just don't know their names, we don't know anything about them. And so sometimes it's quite interesting just to focus on where we do have a name of somebody whose remains are there, and just think about, you know, these were young boys in some instances. It's just crazy to think that this is just full of graves of so many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people killed in a conflict. So what do I dislike about the trans experience? Well, of course, dysphoria would be an obvious one. That really sucks. But beyond that, I mean, I don't like the fact that I'm going to have to be, I guess, dependent on treatment for the foreseeable future. But it's a fact of how it is. That's something that's brought me comfort and joy in my life. I think that sometimes, I mean, I've talked about preconceptions that cis people have about us, and it'd be great if a lot of those went away, but it's going to take a long time. I think there's a lot of kind of infighting and gatekeeping within any community, but within the trans community, we're so small, it feels so unnecessary. But I mean, we're a community of people who've had to deal with the trauma of coming to terms with who we are, so it's how it is as well, I suppose. But yeah, I just wanted to make a very quick, very short video, so I'm going to leave it there. Just one thing before I go. I have been asking people through this week if they're feeling generous, if they're feeling like they've got some extra resources floating around. There's a couple of charities that I've been promoting on this channel through the week. There's Mermaids UK, who support kids in the UK at a time when they desperately need that support. And there's Trans Rescue, who do amazing work in extracting trans people from countries where their lives are in danger and getting them to safety. I'll put information about them in the description below, and it would be fantastic if you can support them as a direct result of watching this channel. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful, well, rest of the Sunday, rest of the week, and I will see you at some point in the future. Tomorrow, perhaps. Bye-bye.